In today's video, we're going to be talking about Sung Jin Woo's most broken items. In the manhwa, everybody talks about how Sung Jin Woo is probably one of the most overpowered main characters, but let's talk about how overpowered his items were. So one of the first ones, one of the weapons that he acquired was Demon King's long sword. It's probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing sword that I've ever seen in like a manhwa or fantasy type of thing. And the reason why it's so overpowered is that he had to defeat the Demon King to get it, and then he also added about 350 attack power to him. At this point, Sung Jin Woo was like above S rank hunter. He was almost surpassing the national hunter rank at this level. So having an extra 350 attack on top of that is crazy. And then the Demon King's long sword also had a effect in that it was able to summon a lightning storm as well. Another pair of weapons that he has were Kamishi's Wrath, and Kamish was one of the most fearful dragons, or one of the most powerful dragons that ever existed on Earth, and it came from the first ever S rank gate, and it was responsible for completely wiping out the west coast of America. Kamishi's Wrath came from the fangs of Kamish. The crazy part about them and why it's so broken is that it basically adjusts its power level to the person wielding the daggers. And that's, as you can imagine, you put the most powerful daggers into the most powerful man's hands. That's a recipe for disaster. And then also another cool thing about them is that they were able to adjust their weight or their feathering or their balance to basically the wielder and however they wanted. So he could basically turn them into swords, or he could turn them into daggers. And then there was the Orb of Avarice. It's probably one of the most underrated items that Sung Jin Woo picked up during his dungeon crawling. But the Orb of Avarice was a orb from a demon that was able to basically multiply all your destructive power by 2, and he was able to give that to his sorcerer's shadow he was like the Orc King, and he was able to give that to him. And once he gave that to the Orc King, he basically would solo anybody with the Orb of Avarice. So the Orb of Avarice, just imagine how powerful that would be if it got into like a monarch's hand. Like if you gave it to the Dragon Monarch, like imagine if the Dragon Monarch got that power, he would be able to double his mana or double his destructive power, which is already destructive because the Dragon King destroyed Canada in like a couple seconds. And then by far, this is probably one of the most broken items that Sung Jin Woo ever created, and that was the Holy Water of Life. What made this so broken is that it could cure any and every illness. So he was literally going through the hospitals and making miracles happen for people that were in inducing comas for like 22 years. And he would just bring them back to life with them just drinking a drop of this water. So that's probably one of the most broken items that he ever created, but there was no drawback. He could only make about 3 of them because the ingredients were so rare. When I first read it, I was like, what? That's just hacks. Like, you can't just make a potion that just cures anything. Do you think I missed one, or do you guys think which one of these do you think is the most broken? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Go.